Hey folks, today we're covering Tinto Flavor 34 for EU5, and Pavia is going to give us a brief overview of Dai Viet, Khmer and Ayutthaya. And to begin with, they're going to show us a map here of the region, very close to China obviously. But you can see Dai Viet, you can see Khmer there as well. And the first of these realms he's going to talk around is Dai Viet. You can see that on the screen now. This is the description page. Now we've seen this previously, but it's been like just a blue box of text with some information in there. They're actually showing off now how this looks in game. I mean, very similar, but actually how it looks in the UI of the game. So you can see here a brief overview of this realm, what they've been getting up to in the past, and then also what you might want to do in the near future. Next, they're going to show the graphical version of this. So again, if you're picking your nation to play as, you'll see this as well. And you can see the kingdom, you can see the flag, you can see what kind of country they are. You can also see on the right hand side this new part that they added recently where you can see how many like events they have and what kind of special content they have as well. That's that book and flag icon in the top right hand corner. You can see the ruler here. He looks quite disgusted in himself. Maybe he's seen his martial skill. He is 60, 70, 30, at least in this example. And then you can see the overview of the realm here. So obviously the primary culture is Vietnamese. You can see the primary religion, Eastern Buddhism, and then 53 buildings, 1.5 million people, 64 gold, 10,000 manpower, and 4 ships by the looks of it. And then the breakdown of the culture, mostly Vietnamese, but there are some other cultures there as well. And then again, for the religion, you can see the breakdown of which ones are here in this country at the start of the game. Next, they're going to show off a more zoomed in version of the map. Very obvious here. You can see that on the screen at the moment. And then next, they're going to talk about some unique content for this realm. So this realm starts with 2 possible government reforms to select from that are tied to the Confucian and Southeast Asian culture respectively. So the first one is the 3 departments: set policy costs minus 33%, change policy costs minus 10%, possible government reforms +1, and admin efficiency +10%. I think we have seen this one in previous dev diaries for this region of the world. The next one is the mandala system. Cultural capacity +10, which is a lot of extra cultures. Monthly legitimacy 0.10. Allow tributary subjects, yes. Monthly progress towards decentralization 0.05. And the mandala system, very interesting because we've got this coming in CK3 as well. So it's kind of cool to see how this is implemented in a different version of a Paradox game. Next, they're going to show off some of the unique privileges and advances for this realm. So you can see here autonomous villages. This is from the Age of Traditions, and this is max rural control +5%. So you're going to get that little bit of extra control from these further regions of your realm. I guess because they're autonomous, but ultimately they do kind of pay fealty to you. So they are going to give you some extra bonuses as well if you do have this. Next, they're going to show off some unique advances for the Vietnamese culture. So you can see the first one here is it Tran Hung Dao Tactics, definitely how you pronounce it. And this is available in the Age of Traditions, possible frontage, +10%. So yes, frontage is back from EU4. We did know about that, but this is shown off here. The first time we've seen it mentioned in quite a while, to be honest. So that is coming back from EU4. And the next one is, I'm not even going to try pronounce it. This is available in the Age of Renaissance. This is levy size +10%, so making your armies that little bit bigger. The next advance is available in the Age of Renaissance, and this is cultural tradition +20%. So again, making your culture side of your realm, making it that little bit more powerful. The next one is available in the Age of Discovery and the other side of the cultural game. So this is cultural influence +25%, again, strengthening up your cultural side of the realm and then being able to kind of implement that in other areas that you do take over. The next advance is military focus. This is available in the Age of Discovery. Infantry power +10%, firearms output +10%. So your infantry is that little bit more powerful, but then also you can arm it that little bit easier because you can make firearms easier. I guess you can also then trade them as well. So you could make some money. You could even play, I guess, like quite peacefully, play tall, make lots of firearms and then sell them to everyone else. Be the world's kind of manufacturer of firearms maybe and make your money that way. The next one is an advance from the Age of Absolutism. This is speed of integration +10%. So once you've taken over some places, you can integrate them into your realm that little bit easier. The last one they're going to show off here is available in the Age of Revolutions, and this is just crown power +10%. So centralizing the power within the monarchy here if you are able to do so. And then next they're going to show off an event from this realm, and this is the campaign against Champa. Conflicts between our kingdom and the kingdom of Champa have been present for many centuries in the Vietnamese-Cham relations. Once again, the ruler of Champa shows weakness, making them ripe for taking over once and for all. And this is based on some historical events that happened. So you can say, this time Champa shall kneel before us, or you can say, enough blood has been shed, let's not do this. So you can decide which way you want to take it. The historical top option, or just say, no, we're a little bit busy at the moment, Maybe we'll do this wall later on as well. And that's our quick initial look at that realm. Next, they're going to talk about Khmer. So very similar to the previous one. You can see the breakdown here of the description, who they are and what you might want to do in the near future. And then you can see the Khmer Empire, a breakdown of the flag, what kind of realm they are. Again, you can see the top right-hand corner, how many events they have and how much content they have that is unique to this realm. Well, not necessarily unique. So some of this could be like monarchy content, which a lot of realms have, because there's a lot of monarchies, but that is what that shows. You can see the current ruler at the start, and then you can see again, as we saw earlier, primary culture, primary religion, 82 buildings, 2 million people, 100 gold, 10,000 manpower, and 3 ships as well, and then a breakdown of the culture and the religion. Very easy for this one, mostly focused in one area. And then again, you can see the map here of this realm, quite a big one. I think this will be quite fun to play as. You own a lot of the region around here, and I imagine, especially as you build up your industry and things, you're going to be able to make a pretty strong kingdom here. I would think so anyway. And to begin with, they're going to show off here a unique building that they have. They have the Barai, I believe this is pronounced. This is an infrastructure building. This gives you monthly prosperity 0.10, and then effects on the location it's built in, population capacity plus 2,000, food production plus 20%. So I imagine you probably want to build this in any location where you have food production, because one, obviously the food production is better, and then also the population capacity means you can have more buildings that help with food production, and you'll have more population to work in them as well. So probably a good building to build anywhere that you have food production. Pretty obvious, to be honest, but you probably want to build one of these in your capital as well. Monthly prosperity 0.10%. It's a small amount, but it does add up over time. And then next, they're going to show off the works of art for this realm. You can see there are 3 of them. One of them is a magnum opus, which is the highest tier of works of art, so that is a great one to have in your realm. Next, they're going to go through some of the advances, and yes, we do have some elephants here. Ballista elephants available in the Age of Traditions, and this unlocks the Khmer Ballista Elephants regular regiment. And next, they're going to show off the information for that unit type of these Ballista Elephants. Now, this is a different layout to previous units we've seen in previous dev diaries, so it looks like they've gone through some iteration of how this looks. It's not quite as big and wide. If you've seen the previous dev diaries talking about units, there's quite a lot of information there. It looks like maybe they've condensed some of it or just made it a little bit easier for us to read. But you can see it here, the strength of it, the combat power, how quick it can move, the initiative, the flanking ability, and then also where they're good in combat or where they're bad in combat. So you can see that there for the elephants. We're all going to be building those, I'm sure. Next is going to be hydraulic cities. This is available in the Age of Renaissance, urban building cost minus 5%. So just saving you some money in those urban buildings. Next is the Lifeblood of Khmer. This is available in the Age of Discovery, proximity cost minus 5%, making your control easier, making your realm that little bit more efficient. Next is the Restoration of Angkor. This is available in the Age of Reformation, cultural tradition plus 10%, and then monthly prestige 0.10 as well, rebuilding the great city of Angkor. Next is Expand the Barais. This is available in the Age of Absolutism, food production plus 20%. So with those previous buildings and other bonuses that you're going to pick up throughout the game anyway, a lot of food production, obviously a very fertile area of the world. So this is really adding on top of that as well. You're going to be making a lot of food. I guess by this point, you're probably going to have a lot of population as well, so you will need this extra food, but it looks like that's not going to be as much of a problem for this realm as potentially other realms will have. And then you can see here the Barai of Angkor. The Barai of Angkor supplies the city with crucial supplies of water, and we can decide to either fund this further or just say, make the necessary repairs. So do you want to make it better, or do you just want to say, look, as long as it's working, it's fine. It might be rendered useless later, but I don't have the money at the moment to fund this, so don't worry about it too much. And then lastly, we're going to talk about Ayutthaya. Now, this is a very interesting realm. Everybody loves in EU4 these like minor nations that actually have unique content and can grow into better things. And this is going to be one of those realms. And you can see the description here, what they've been up to recently, what their current situation is, and what you might want to do in the near future. And then you can see next the graphical version of this. You can see the flag. As you can see, very limited as a realm at the start, not many events. The ruler though looks okay. You can see the primary culture is Thai. You can see the primary religion as well, and then they have one building, 172,000 people, nearly 8 gold, 5,000 manpower, and 2 ships. So they're really not like this powerful nation that we've seen some of the previous ones already. And then you can see the cultural breakdown and the religious breakdown as well. The religious one, very easy, 100% follow this religion. You can see this on the map here now, a small realm in the center of this area of the world. And as I said, this is a unique location minor, which is a subject of its neighbor Laveau. To the north, the kingdom of Sukhothai is almost at its height of power. As a Thai country though, it has access to some unique content such as advances. You can see this here, religious melting pot, age of traditions, tolerance of heretical beliefs, and tolerance of heathen beliefs, +1 for both of those. And then next, yes, the elephants are back, war elephants, available in the Age of Renaissance, Thai elephant cavalry. You're going to be building these. Again, you can see a breakdown of them in the next screenshot. The strength, the combat, food consumption, movement speed, initiative, all these things very important to your armies and your units. You can see the combat performance and the terrain impact as well. The next advance is available in the Age of Discovery. This is infantry power +10%. So a lot of the realms here, and to be honest, we've seen this in a lot of the realms during these Flavor Dev Diaries, do get quite a lot of the same kind of bonuses, just under different advances. So if you've all got 10% infantry power improved, you're all kind of the same anyway. But obviously some of the realms around here won't have this advance. The next advance is available in the Age of Reformation, income from minting +10%. So you're just going to be getting more gold out of this, giving you more money to spend. The next advance is close subjects, available in the Age of Reformation, diplomatic annexation cost -15%. So you're going to be able to diplomatically annex people for that little bit cheaper once you get to the era of revolutions. And then lastly, they're going to show off an event here, the founding of Ayutthaya. And this is all about expanding and then being able to found this better kingdom. A new city and country shall rise overall. Our identity is not defined by just a city, or the funds are better spent elsewhere. So you can decide here if you want to implement this, which is historically what happened. If you do found the country, you can see that in the next screenshot, the ruler, and then obviously the stats around the time when this version was made. And you can see that in the next screenshot as well. This is how it will look. Once you've claimed all the land that is needed, you can change your tag to what it looks like in this screenshot. And then when this new step is taken, more unique content will pop up, making for a progression from the small and weak realm into this more powerful version as you progress through the game. So you can see that here, the reforms of this realm, and you can decide if you want to upgrade people, upgrades, or you can say, we will not change what is already working. If you choose the top option though, you do get this government reform, crown power +10%, efficiency of our cabinet +10%. I mean, why wouldn't you do this? If you're going through this like historical version, why not choose these options? Get your realm that little bit better. And then the last thing they're going to show off here is a potentially powerful regional hegemony. And this is Form Siam. This is a tier 3 formable country. And this is all around bringing together the Thai people. You can do that. And then you will convert your realm into being this new formable country, and then play on as them for the rest of the game. And with that, that is the end of the Dev Diary for this week. So just a very quick look at these 3 realms. Obviously, they're not the biggest of realms. We've been talking about China and the HRE and other realms previously, but this is a cool place to play in. A lot of fun things to do here. And as they've shown with this one, even the smallest of countries has some DLC in this respect, and then we'll see more of that, I imagine, through DLCs in the future. I'm sure there's other small realms that will have content similar to this. Again, if you've played EU4, there's a lot of these like one province countries that have unique content that everyone likes to play as, but that is the ones that they've shown us today. They do say here next week on Wednesday, we're going to find out about the Black Death. That is going to be very cool. The Black Death really mixes up the map, really mixes up your situation very early in the game. And then on Friday, we're going to find out about the Mamluks. That's going to be really cool as well. I think they're really fun to play in EU4, so in EU5, we'll see how they play out as well. But as I said, that is the end of the Dev Diary this week. Hit that like button if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm covering all the Dev Diaries, news around EU5, and then I also cover Crusader Kings 3 in a very similar manner. So if you enjoyed the video, subscribe, but we'll leave it there for today, and I'll see you all next time.